What's up, wonderful soul? If you've been looking for videos of love, animal videos, videos exposing the importance of honesty and truth, then search no more, because here, my friend, we have all those types of videos, including other types of videos that myself I also don't know about. And because of that, my friend, today we shall be reacting together with you through the comment section in these videos that we shall see. I am Y311H. My friend here is Kasungu. Straight out of Africa. With lots of good vibes. Let's dive in, man. Good vibes all the way. And the first video here we see this guy showcasing his skills. Wow, it's like he's training. Oh my god, I didn't know. Oh, this one is learned, my friends. You see, they even know how to, is he praying? Oh my god, what type of praying is this? These animals are full of love and good vibes, you see.
And you look into the center, and in the center see a glowing blue-purple light, which could be seen with the unaided eye. It looked like a star in the heavens.
Seth Putterman called it the star in a jar, a tiny spot of bright light contained in a flask of liquid. This star in a jar is made when a sound wave is passed through a small bubble inside a flask of liquid. And this sound wave makes the bubble do something remarkable. First it expands, then it collapses. And this collapse happens so violently that vapor molecules trapped inside the bubble slam together and heat up so much that the bubble gives off an incredible burst of heat and light, several thousand times a second, giving the appearance of a star.
And here's my setup. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? Just plain gorgeous.
Oh, my friends, that looks fantastic. And then there's this stuff here. Oh my god. This looks like a movie scene. And my friend, allegedly it's not a movie scene. It was recorded in some place there. Crazy stuff like this happened. Oh. Do you see this? Now how can you explain this? Is that a portal that just opened out of nowhere?
Becomes Mary Magdalene. You have Osiris becoming Jesus, and so on. So the fact is, it's a really, really dark place.
This is San Clemente Church in Rome. It's run today by an Irish order of Dominican monks. It was founded over 3.5 centuries ago and houses one of the last remaining entrances down into the ancient pre-Christian remains of the city. Vatican historian and local guide Rob Allen is an expert on subterranean Rome and agreed to show me the remains of a 2,000-year-old temple, which in its day was actually at ground level.
The amazing thing is that we're walking down to the 1st century AD now, and we're walking in to a house of brick that 100 years later, after it was built, was made.
Some good vibes guy here doing magic tricks to his dog. Oh. This is interesting. These animals and humans interactions are always lovely to watch, you see, because it's always a good interaction of people or creatures spreading love to one another, you see, and it's just incredible, my friends. You see, if we could all be treating one another with love and good vibes, The word could be better, you see? Ah, this one is great. These animals are very wise, my friends. Oh, just in case you are wondering, I got myself a cassava here and it's doing just fine, you see? Those that don't know how cassava looks like, this is how it looks like. And then there's this good, oh wait. This is how you train your dogs. Oh, using some food, and it's just interesting. Good people of Earth watching, do you guys have dogs or pets? What's the name of your dog? You can tell us there in the comment section if you have one, you see? And if you don't have a dog, maybe you have a zebra or a croc. Tell us, what's the name of your croc? Oh, you see? How does it behave? Oh, what's the most interesting thing about your croc maybe, or that pet you have? Give us some comments.
I bet that you didn't know what the Magnus effect is, but by the end of the video, you will. So what is this Magnus effect and where is it used? Behind me, you see a spinning tube. This tube spins with a Magnus effect. What happens is that the wind comes in on the right side, creating a high pressure area. On the left side, there's less wind, creating a low pressure area. This makes the tube spin. The spinning of the tube creates extra thrust for the boat. Therefore, this is also called a modern sail, and this boat will go quicker than a boat with only a motor.
My dad taught me when I was a little girl that God's phone number was Jeremiah 33:3. It says this, "Call unto me, and I will answer you and show you great and mighty things that you do not know."
If there's a smoker in the house, it's recommended to keep a few pots of Brazilian wood. Also known as lucky wood, Brazilian wood stays green year-round and doesn't need direct sunlight to thrive. It just needs water. When it blooms, the whole house is filled with the scent of high-end perfume. Placing it in the bedroom not only helps to purify the air, but also alleviates fatigue and promotes sleep. It quietly blossoms while you're in dreamland. The hotter the weather, the faster it blooms, with a flowering period lasting over 200 days. Just one pot can fill the entire neighborhood with its fragrance. Most importantly, each bloom symbolizes an increase in good fortune.
Wow, interesting to know. Does Texas really show us the real space? Let's see, this is crazy stuff. Oh, good guys of Earth from Texas. Do you really show us space there? Oh, look at this stuff. Imagine there's all this structure down there with this crazy stuff. And one big massive computer. Oh my god. This is crazy. Is this now some... what do you call it? Is this how they show us maybe how space looks like from this place here? Some lab. This is crazy. My friends, we really need a lot of honesty amongst ourselves. Look at this. Imagine some guys know all this stuff and have been lying to other people. You see, they could have misled some very big population of people. Over 1 million or... it doesn't matter, but people should be honest with one another, you see. Hit the like button if you are watching and spread love. Look at this polar bear. Wait a minute. Is this a person or... what's happening here? Are you guys seeing this? It's like polar bear just removed his skin and decided, oh my friend, I've been smelling sweaty for quite some time. Why not do some laundry? This is definitely some life hack on how to go about your screws, you see. If you have some screws that are not doing the screw thing, You can use this as an alternative way. Oh, this is good vibes. This is just humans showing us interesting ways to deal with stuff that may be hard at our home, you see? And it's interesting. Oh, look at this guy. Is this a crystal cave or something like that? This is unbelievable. It really looks fascinating inside here. This is nice, man. My friends, where is this place? Looks like it's an unknown place. Wow.
Oh, this is good.
How does it exist?
Excuse me, sir. I think your cock is broke. Dude.
Instead of using a wire brush to clean your grill, try using an onion. An onion works just as well to clean your grill, but it's safer and gives you a nice onion flavor to top it off. Instead of tenderizing your meat, use kiwi. The enzymes in kiwi help to break down the protein and connective tissue in the meat, resulting in a super tender consistency. Instead of using a spray on your grill, try using a potato. Luckily, you can use a potato to make your grill grates non-stick through its starch molecules.
Look at this kid here. They are good besties with their cat.
Hi, lovely sisters and brothers. I had to impulse publishing a video. Thank you so much for all your lovely support. I'm so happy and I'm so grateful. Yeah, you see, I'm very, very tired and I'm very, very sad. So I don't want to waste your time. So sorry. I'm so sorry. I try to keep going, but I'm honest, I'm so tired, I'm so sad. These attacks are so horrible. It is next level. It is next level. So maybe you know the story from 2021. And a couple of months ago, I told Marcel it feels the same way again. And all this craziness comes down. It repeats itself again. And March, April, it started this year. It's just horrible. They try to separate Marcel and me. And they spend so much time in separating us. And these attacks were so horrible. The last weeks, it was so horrible. I have sleepless nights. I cannot sleep for real. I saw this crazy dimension or room, whatever, again. I was there again. And I know this story is so crazy, but you must know they have high-tech technology. It goes far beyond our imagination. And they just want to separate Marcel and me. That's it. And we need a home. And it's a problem here. And I try to keep going with my readings, but I'm sorry, I cannot. Feels like I failed. I failed. We don't know what to do any longer. All the people we know, yeah, we know some people here. But it's too much for them too. Because they feel the darkness. I told you so many times on my YouTube page or on my Facebook page who is behind us. This is another level. I don't want to scare you any longer. We need a home. First, a home. Marcel and me together. And I just want a space. And I want to keep going with my work. But when you are a targeted individual, they will never let you go. Never. In Germany, it's one of the darkest places on earth. Here are so many. Switzerland. Please. You know, there were some people, they reached out. They tried to help us. And they tried, yes. You see, I'm so thin. No appetite. I'm so thirsty, but I'm not thirsty any longer. I called out for help. I called Naughty Beaver. I don't know if he saw my video. I know he's in trouble or he's not doing well, Naughty Beaver. Or what's about Crystal's avatar? I called out so many people. And they know more about this high-tech technology. No help. Just watching us. And this is the spiritual new cage. I know it's karma. It's karma, Marcel and me, I know. Courts, I know. Implants, yes, I know it is. It's always your fault, right? Always. You see Yeshua's story? Can you tell him the same? It was his fault. His karma. Look him into the eyes and say, it's your karma. I'm not religious. I'm not biblical. Yes, I stayed in a church. I was at hospital. And I visited a church because I still have a connection to Mother Mary. It doesn't matter. It's the Divine Mother. I have a connection to her. It doesn't matter if I stay in a church or in a temple. It is your heart. It is your soul. It's all an illusion. Please, come together. And I know many people are worried. Reached out to me and said, I feel there's something dark behind you. It's very dark. I'm so worried. How can I help you? But unfortunately, most of the people we know, it's too much. They don't know how to help us. We just need a place to stay. They try to separate Marcel and me from each other. That's it. That we never can live together. Stay together and live our mission here. That's it. There's no more. Spiritual community, you must open your eyes. Break free from the cage. Break free from the spiritual bypassing. Break free from this gaslighting narcissism. That's all an illusion. Deep in your heart you feel it's not right. Or can you tell a pure child the same? In Africa, a child, it's your karma. You must suffer. Have no water because of your karma. Do you see this? This is the spiritual new cage. We lose our heart. So when you feel it to help us, please reach out. You can donate if you want. And I'm so sorry. I believed I'm stronger. I'm so sorry. Bless you all. It was a big pleasure talking to you all. And maybe I touched some of your hearts. And if you want to help us, please help us. You'll find all my links in the description below, and I'm so sorry for all the people who still believe I just play a show. I know, you must be careful on social media. There's some people, they don't mean it serious, I know. But you must look into the people's eyes. Look into their eyes and you see it. You can see their frequency. Frequency speaks truth. We need to come together now. Don't you feel it? The craziness goes on. So many promises. Solar eclipse. Wow. Ascension. Wow. It simply goes on. It doesn't stop. Because it's us.
These plants totally won me over when they showed me just how good they are at catching fruit flies and fungus gnats. But when they started catching the mosquitoes that get into the house, oh, now they own my heart.
Good vibes all the way, man. And then there's something here you never say again. Look at this. Holes in the ground here, some building, weird building. Who built this stuff in the first place? Why would they build buildings like this, my friends? 12,000 years old. You see? This city, nobody has ever talked about it, and it was there. 12,000 years ago. That's a very long time ago. You see? I believe none of us that is watching existed that time or knows stories from that time. But this place was built by people from those days. Oh my god, this is crazy. Take a closer look at this. Super strange creatures that are on the walls. Some are even in paintings. Oh my god. These are weird stuff. Extremely weird. How did these things exist there? You see? From how history is from school 12,000 years ago, people could have been taught caveman. Do you think that is caveman's work? Yo,
My friends, it is my opinion that the Antarctic anomaly frequency is heating the Atlantic Ocean and will make hurricane season a lot worse. Check this out. And of course, this is only a theory. All right, my friends, welcome back. We're on Vent to Sky, and look what's back. It is May 23rd, 2024, and we have the beginning of the Antarctic anomaly once again. This one goes for a few days before they remove it. They will remove this. They always do. I'll skip to the days real quick just so you can see how far this frequency goes, because that's what this is. This is a frequency technology coming from Bovet Island, and you can see this spreading all the way up to the northern Atlantic, and I'm going to explain why we see this again. As you can see, the data here ends on the 29th. They will remove all data except for the data that initially took place, which will be right about here at 11 a.m. on Thursday. So you'll see this, and you'll see the rest of today, and then they will gradually remove this data. Now, I want you to think about something. The insane amount of heat we've been having in the Gulf and the southeastern states. But my friends, what we are seeing here with this heating of the Atlantic Ocean, we are 3 months ahead of schedule. As you can see on this chart, this is where we should be in the month of August as far as the temperature. In this section of the ocean, the exact path where our hurricanes come from the west coast of Africa, sweep down through the Cape Verde Islands, and then into the Caribbean. This is going to be a serious situation for the Caribbean, as I said, and also the Gulf. We're going to be dealing with Jamaica, Cuba, Haiti, Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico, all these areas, including the Gulf of Mexico and eastern Florida. That is why, in my opinion, of course, this is my theory about this situation, we are seeing this Antarctic anomaly because this is a type of frequency weapon. This program has no other way of determining this type of data, so it only puts it out in a wave format. That's why it's not showing up in any other setting, and sometimes we get this on windy and sometimes we don't. But this, my friends, is the program trying to analyze this data, and the only way it knows how to is to put it in this form, so we're seeing an energy pulse. That's why we had the insane weather all over Africa and then Brazil shortly after and during these anomalies. There is no denying that that weather lined up exactly with every time this anomaly popped up. You can see that here in this image. Every time the anomaly popped up on 4/9, we had insane weather in Cape Town, South Africa. It was then followed by insane weather in Kenya, and then Oman, and then Brazil, as we just discussed. So keep an eye out for significant weather in these areas or the continuing of significant weather. My friends, this is a very significant thing that's taking place down by Antarctica. Whether it's the island we've been speaking of, the Weir Antenna Array up to the northwest of the island, or the Antarctic coast itself. Regardless, this is a frequency. There's nothing physical about this situation or wave. There's no waves being read because that's not what's actually here. It's only being read as waves because this program has no other way of analyzing this type of info and putting it out to us. So this is the extent that we get the anomaly this time, going all the way up into the North Atlantic Ocean. This is unbelievable, my friends. I'll keep up on this as always. Take care. Bye-bye.
Oh, crazy stuff, man. We experienced those heavy weather from this side, you see? What's going on here? Look at this. Oh, the balloon is attached to the cat's tail. And the baby is excited to catch the balloon. Yes, good vibes. But the cat will be surprised. Oh my god, Chinese Kung Fu is profound. That one, we leave it to them.
The devil, right? Well, in a very specifically subjective way, yes, but it's a little more complicated than that. So stick around because you're gonna like this. But if you're new here, hi, my name is Ilian. I wrote a master's on alchemy, occultism, and Jungian dream analysis. I'm writing a totally unrelated PhD about Palestinian political identity, and I'm a writer, teacher, tarot reader, and cat. Go with it. Now, first of all, Baphomet is a French word, specifically a French crusader word. And one of the earliest recorded usages of the term comes to us from the French crusader Anselme de Ribemont. At the end of the 11th century, after the First Crusade, Ribemont wrote a letter about the siege of Antioch. So I'm going to read you the part that mentions Baphomet. As the next day dawned, they called loudly upon Baphomet, and we prayed silently in our hearts to God. Then we attacked and forced all of them outside the city walls. Okay, let's unpack. First of all, where is Antioch? Southern Turkey, located at what is currently Antakya. And who are they? Who are the inhabitants of Antioch in the 11th century? The Muslims. And who is this Baphomet that they call upon? Someone the French would also call Mahomet. But Ilian, Knights Templars were also accused of worshipping Baphomet. Now, first of all, the Knights Templars were accused of a lot of shit. Most of all because they didn't do what the church wanted, which was to save Jerusalem from the heathen idol worshippers, the Muslims. But as the city's protectors, the Templars essentially lived among the Muslim Arabs, and they probably ended up incorporating some Islamic practices into their own religious beliefs. Big no-no for the church daddies. Now, I've already talked a little bit about the prominence of Islamophobia throughout Christian history. The fact that they felt the need to save Jerusalem from the Muslims should give you a good enough idea about the extent of this phobia. Now, of course, the word save has its rhetorical function, because then the Crusades are less of an invasion and more of a redemption. The same way an imperial military might be called a defense force, because then it appears to exist for the purpose of protection rather than oppression. Now, like I said before, the church did a lot of work to paint the Muslims in the worst light possible. They went as far as having medieval European Christians believe that Muslims worshipped Muhammad as a god. To this day, the word Mamet, derived from Mahomet, means a false god in English. Talk about subconscious programming. There were actual songs sung by medieval Christians about the false idol worshippers of Islam. They didn't call them Muslims, they called them Mohammedans. They worship Baphomet in the Baphomaria. Baphomaria is supposed to be the mosque. And just a little side note, so you can see how deep the programming really runs. Someone commented on one of my first videos about the Quran that their parents told them that the Quran was the devil's Bible. Duh, it's the book of Baphomet. Later on, the idea of Baphomet gets merged with another Islamophobic stereotype, that the Arabs have no trouble being intimate with goats. Now, this fun little rumor comes to us from one of the grandfathers of Western racism against the East, Herodotus, who talked about the worship of the goat of Mendes. Mendes is the Greek word for the Egyptian city Jedet, known in ancient Egypt as Bir-Banet Jedet, the place of the ram god of Jedet. And the ram was one of the 3 chief deities of Jedet. Technically, he's the Ba of one of the 3 lords, the Ba being the soul. He is the Ba of Osiris. With his consort Isis and his son Horus, they are the triad of Mendes. And Herodotus said that not only did they worship this goat god, they worshipped goats themselves. They held goats in such high standard that women would sleep with them publicly. And of course, I mean, over the centuries, people just ran with, like, you have full-on books and codices, scholars who take themselves very seriously, writing things like this. Miner and Devos comment that amongst Arab tribal cultures, bestiality with goats, sheep, or camels provides a good outlet. These practices, Havelock Ellis states that the Arabs, according to Kosher, chiefly practice bestiality with goats, sheep, and mares. But then this one goes farther out east. The Anamites, according to Mondier, commonly employ sows and, more especially among the young women, dogs. Okay, now we're on a bit of a tangent, but whatever, let's go back. Baphomet is the devil. But who is the devil? Well, in the Bible, he's no one. He's totally unmentioned. Not a word of him. In the book of Job, one of the sons of God is called the Satan. In 1 Samuel, King Saul is tormented by a troubling spirit. A spirit sent by Yahweh. So are God and Satan in cahoots, or like... Because in the Chronicle, Yahweh sends his angel, again called the Satan, to give people a plague. For the most part, Satan in the Bible is everything God does but doesn't want to associate with. In Herodotus, the Persians and Assyrians and Egyptians, all of the others are everything that Greece is not. For example, Herodotus talks about how the Persians were obsessed with slaves. But Greece was almost single-handedly built by slaves. When Athens had a democracy, it was a democracy for the aristocrats, who had slaves. Slaves who had no role in that democracy. While Persia is largely built by skilled workers and artisans. In medieval Europe, the Arabs were idolatrous devil worshippers. People who prayed to Baphomet and Allah instead of God. Even though Allah is God, is Yahweh, is El, of Eli lama shabaktani. Et voila, we get the horned figure of Baphomet, the goat of Mendes, convoluted with the false idol god Mahomet, who the Muslims never worshipped, by the way. All Muslims understand that no one is to be worshipped beside God. Islam is essentially the return to the Old Testament monodaddy Yahweh. It's a correction on the Christian trinitary nature of the divine. And it makes me think about the projection that's at play in the medieval Christian mind. Did they feel threatened that the Muslims re-venerated God as the All-Father One alone in the sky, while they had essentially started to worship a man? A man born of a virgin, but a man no less. Is this not the epitome of idolatry? Was it guilt and shame of their own rituals that they projected onto the Muslim population? Because the Muslims have no trouble telling you the difference between Allah and Muhammad. God is the omnipresent, all-powerful, all-seeing, all-wise. Muhammad is his messenger. But can Christians tell us the difference between God and Jesus?
Now, wonderful souls, thank you very much for watching up to this far. Like always, lots of love and respect to yourself. That gesture is never taken for granted, you see?